The first CLS made a splash when it was unveiled at the Frankfurt International Motor Show in 2003. Mercedes surprised many with its four-door convertible and bold design. The new car class was a runaway success. Since 2004, the CLS has sold 170,000 units. This year, it's had hefty competition from the Audi A7. High time for Mercedes to roll out its second-generation CLS in this highly specialized market. Simone Wacher says Mercedes is targeting seasoned motorists looking for something unusual. In Western Europe, CLS buyers are mainly around 50 and male. Only 10% are women, while in the United States, women make up around 30%. Mercedes has big plans for the CLS. The last model managed to take a third of the market from competitors. The CLS continues the Mercedes tradition of standout design. And the new CLS is designed to make a statement. The front end rakes back more sharply than its predecessor, while the freestanding side mirrors have all the flair of a sports car. The wheel arches are now bolder and accentuate the vehicle's power, domineering touches designed to intimidate the competition. BMW won't have a new model ready until 2012 at the earliest. But the Mercedes isn't all muscle. The rear lights show off its more artistic side. The trunk opens at the touch of a button. And the back seats now fold down in the style of the Audi A7. That transforms the rear into a spacious compartment large enough to transport even bulky objects. The dashboard's round instruments harks back to the 1960s, while the cockpit itself remains elegantly understated. Up front, there's room in abundance. The attention to detail includes the glossy piano finish on the doors. Andreas Friedrich says Mercedes tried to push the design even further this time around, adapting the traditional forms of Mercedes-Benz to the new trend-setting CLS. The car has also integrated the latest in auto technology with 12 driver assistance systems and all the safety features of the S-Class. And there are also highlights only found in the CLS. They include a new blind spot assistant and a lane departure warning. The new power steering system also adapts to the driving situation, making handling easier and more precise. Andreas Friedrich says the assisted steering also allows for automatic parking. The driver can let go of the wheel and the car will literally park itself. And the steering function changes to suit low-speed or high-speed driving conditions. For Andreas Friedrich, that means maximum benefits for the customer. Under the hood, the CLS is available with 4 different motors. We tested the 350 CDI, the larger of the 2 diesels, with its powerful V6 configuration and 265 horsepower. All 4 motors bear the Blue Efficiency Badge, technology which aims to increase fuel efficiency and lower emissions. Mercedes says the new CLS has savings of up to 25% on its predecessor, although consumption of 6 liters per 100 kilometers would seem utopian in city traffic. The new CLS hits European showrooms in January, U.S. customers will have to wait until next summer. Los Angeles, the grand finale of the global motor show circuit. Recent years have seen the event grow in stature, and it can now hold its own alongside the more established shows in Detroit, Geneva, Frankfurt, and Paris. That especially applies to German luxury brands, which are traditionally strong in the United States. Porsche's Bernhard Meyer says it's become the most important consumer event for the American market. In the past, visitor numbers have exceeded 1.5 million. This year's organizers are expecting well over 1 million. With ticket sales like that and the number of new models, it seems the crisis in the car industry is well and truly over. The Los Angeles Motor Show boasts 18 world premieres and 30 first showings for North America. And of course, there's all the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Volkswagen presented its new EOS with the help of German top model Heidi Klum. She says she likes the EOS so much that if she had the key, she'd take it with her. And what would sunny California be without the convertibles? Heidi says she likes them much better than closed-in cars. After all, she lives in California, where they always have fine weather. So, of course, she loves driving with the top down. And because so many Californians share Heidi Klum's sentiments, exhibitors are all flaunting their topless lines. After a 27-year hiatus, Fiat is looking to get back into the U.S. market. The Italian car maker came to Los Angeles with just one model, the compact Fiat 500. And who knows, maybe they'll offer a convertible sometime in the future. Another Italian car at the extreme end of the spectrum is the Lamborghini Gallardo Spider Performante, an even sportier version of the Gallardo Spider. Lamborghini has pumped up performance with a range of tweaks. Stefan Winkelmann says the key is the power-weight ratio, the balance between the weight of the vehicle and its performance. He says Lamborghini sees the future in reducing weight rather than increasing power, because handling and acceleration will be much more important than top speeds. The Performante is now 65 kilograms lighter. Its 570 horsepower shoots it from 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds. But the LA Motor Show isn't all about fast and flashy rides. Green technology also plays a major role on Californian highways. Electric vehicles and alternative fuels were well represented at this year's event. Honda presented its vision of the future with its Fit prototype. Chevrolet's Volt is already in production and was voted the show's Green Car of the Year, its third major award. Renault is presenting its next-generation Laguna sedan. The 5-door model features a different look and a choice of low-emission engines. It has the dynamic front and sunken grille that typifies the new generation of Lagunas. Buyers can opt for one of 6 different motors. The smallest diesel boasts 110 horsepower and fuel consumption of just 4.7 liters per 100 kilometers. When it comes to motorbikes, BMW is bucking the trend towards downsizing. The new K1600 GT features a 6-cylinder inline engine specially developed by BMW. While the Cruiser is primarily designed for long-distance travel, its 160 horsepower motor can rocket the bike from 0 to 100 in just 3.2 seconds. The K1600 GT goes on the market in 2011. The Audi Q5 Hybrid is to debut this spring at the Geneva Motor Show. Audi is making the vehicle a full hybrid, so it's possible to drive it using the electric motor only. VW wants to ensure its hybrids are fit for everyday use, so it's hardly surprising that the Q5 is its first vehicle to get this gas-electric combo. Audi's Frank van Meo says that the structure of the Q5 allowed them to install the battery without having to make any compromises. He's happy that they didn't have to put the battery in the trunk or anywhere else. The car is just like it was before. Van Meo adds that this is a consideration for companies' future electric cars too. Audi still wants to be able to offer its customers 4 or 5-seaters with ample trunk space, but he says that with the Q5 the company is well positioned in the SUV segment in the U.S., which was one of their target markets. They're also well positioned because demand for a hybrid in the premium SUV segment was and is high, and because Audi is the first to step into the B-Class. This winter, the Q5 Hybrid will undergo some more endurance tests in Sweden, but it's already well prepared to handle everyday conditions. Martin Vanna says you simply press the start button, and when the indicator points to ready. By setting the driving position, it functions like a purely electric car. Everything's visualized on the central display. Vanna demonstrates how putting your foot on the gas starts the gas engine. The orange color shows when it's in use. When you take your foot off the gas or brake slightly, the car reverts to the electric motor and stores the brake energy by recharging the battery. The Q5 Hybrid has a combined performance of 245 horsepower, making it the top model under Audi's Q5s. The vehicle can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.1 seconds. The days in which people couldn't expect much of hybrids or electric cars are a thing of the past. Starting at 1500 RPM, the Q5 Hybrid produces its maximum torque of 350 Newton meters. Even in tough conditions, the car remains powerful and easy to maneuver. Our test driver says we're navigating the pylons in electric mode. The car can accelerate to 100 kilometers an hour on the electric engine alone. At speeds of 30, 40, 50, the car is very powerful on just the electric motor, even though it's designed more for long, straight distances. Drivers choose from 3 different programs on the central console. While S gets the vehicle in sporty mode, D puts both motors in fuel-saving mode. By selecting EV, drivers can use the electric motor for city driving. With a hybrid vehicle, the main focus is fuel economy, says our test driver. And the Q5 Hybrid uses just under 8 liters in the city. The car's developers say total consumption should be less than 7. Our driver says the full electric engine delivers a very smooth and quiet ride, but he notes that the vehicle can also accelerate fast and handle sharp curves. The Q5 Hybrid will have its German launch in the summer of 2011. This year, there's a new tuning and sports car show for those who like to pimp their rides. My Car made its debut in Dortmund. Here, some 200 exhibitors showed off their modified dream cars over an area covering some 30,000 square meters. Swiss self-made millionaire Uli Anliker was here with his gold-plated McLaren SLR 999, which is worth a cool 7.3 million euros. He says 5.5 kilograms of pure gold was worked into the almost 100 liters of paint used on the car. That cost 220,000 Swiss francs alone. Then he gold-plated all the parts, like the rims. His team did lots of development and engineering on the car, and that cost lots of money. That and the 600 rubies.
600 Rubinen, wo wir noch verbaut haben, als Krönung für dieses Fahrzeug.
But not everything that glitters is gold, or costs as much. These floor mats sell for 120 euros apiece and come in a choice of designs. And these specially made rhinestone rims are called girls' style. Just like the glitter floor mats, they're made for female tuners. But men like to check them out too. Jennifer Kowalski says she thinks women tune their cars differently from men. It's a bit of a cliche, but she says she's mostly into a car's looks. She doesn't care much about the motor or how fast it goes. She says girls pay more attention to looks, the details, and are more playful than the boys. But now it's time to get serious. At the Uni-Royal Tuning Showdown, the vehicles go head-to-head. A jury rates the 100 award-winning cars. The one in the giraffe look with the home theater system in the trunk. Or the flat-screen TV in the floor mats. There's no limits to tuners' craziness or creativity. These wrought iron rims from Diamond don't come cheap and take 4 weeks to produce, but each one comes specially made in almost any color you can think of, and they're certainly more robust than standard alloy wheels. Still, there are some really useful items at the show, like this navigation system for mobile homes. Once you enter the dimensions of your vehicle, the device checks your route for streets that are too narrow. Sven Schultz, a tuner himself, organized the jury for the Uni-Royal Tuning Showdown. He says tuning has changed completely. In the 1980s and 90s, people talked about the Golf GTI driver who does 200 on city streets. But that's no longer so, he says. The cars on show here are exclusive, often worth 50 or 100,000 euros. Cars like this only go slowly, if at all, he says, often only in a trailer. These cars are like works of art, which fulfill their owner's sense of individuality. They design a car in the same way an artist paints a picture. Schultz says there's a trend towards OEM, or original equipment manufacturer tuning. For instance, taking a VW Golf and adding rims from Seat, an Audi steering wheel, and maybe a rear spoiler from Lamborghini.
Vom Konzernhersteller. Beispiel, man hat einen Golf, baut Felgen von einem Seat dran, macht ein Lenkrad von einem Audi ran und vielleicht einen Heckspoiler von einem Lamborghini.
This is one of those OEM cars. Inside this Golf 2, built in 1991, there's the 255 horsepower motor of a Golf 5. So, in addition to practical inventions, the My Car Show had enough new creations to get every tuning fan's engines revving.